Sadguru Nath Maharaj Ki Jai, and welcome to JagadambeReadsMahabhharata57. As you may remember, the Pandavas came out the other side of the tunnel and met a man. Vidura has placed here a boat to ferry you across the river. It is in readiness. After you reach the other side of the river, Vidura wants you to proceed southwards. The path will be clear to you because of the stars. You are asked to keep your whereabouts and even your existence a secret for the next few months. It is to be noted that all the people sent by Vidura spoke first the words in Malecha Bahasa, which Vidura had first used. That was the only way to convince Yudhishthira that they were real friends. The Pandavas were surrounded by spies and enemies on all sides. They could never have made out the difference between a friend and a foe. The boatman came near. He first convinced them that he was a friend. Then he said, Vidura has paid me enormous money, and he has asked me to wait here every night with my boat. Someday, said Vidura, someday the Pandavas will be there with their mother, and you will have to ferry them across the Ganga and leave them on safe ground. The day has come. I have the good fortune of guiding the Pandavas. I'm indeed fortunate, since God has made me fit to do such a good turn to the best of people. They crossed the river and entered the terrible forest. The night was dark and dreadful. But the princes had to hurry as much as they could. Distance was a dire necessity now. They had to go as far away from Varanavata as they possibly could. They hurried along with quick steps. Chapter 27. News reaches Hastinapura. In Varanavata, the dreadful night was over. The house had been burnt down completely. The fire had abated, and the people could now cross the moat and see what had happened. It was terrible to see the charred remains of 7 bodies. They knew for certain that the Pandavas, with their mother, had been burnt to death. The 7th was Parochana. People were happy to see that at least Parochana was punished for his sinfulness. They were unhappy at the fate which had overtaken the Pandavas. Their wrath was great. They said, it is obvious that this has been done at the instigation of the old king and his son. The miner who had built the tunnel for the Pandavas went in without being noticed and looked for the opening of the tunnel. He found that it was completely hidden by the debris. He admired the wisdom of the Pandavas and returned to Hastinapura to report to Vidura about the escape of the Pandavas. The other agents of Vidura also went to him and told him about the safety of the Pandavas. Vidura knew now that they had crossed the river Ganga and were proceeding southwards as he had advised them to do. News travels fast. The people of Hastinapura were sunk in despair when they heard about the death, no, the murder of the Pandavas. Hearing the news, the wily king Dhritarashtra pretended to be grief-stricken. His heart was full of a great happiness, but he had to pretend. He looked as though he were overcome by the calamity that had befallen him. Like the cloud that roars in autumn, making much noise without giving any rain, he gave vent to his grief. He sent messengers to Varanavata to perform the funeral rites for the dead people. He ordered the treasurer to distribute wealth and clothing to the poor in accordance with the custom. All of them went to the banks of the river Ganga to offer funeral oblations. Vidura was there with them. He knew his brother and his exaltation at the moment. He knew him to be the home of insincerity and scheming. Vidura too mourned, along with the others. Sadguru Nath Maharaj Ki Jai, thank you for coming. I hope you come again.